Welcome back. Nande T. Kamati, a children's author from Namibia, has been recognized as Brittle Paper's Writer of the Month for August 2024. Brittle Paper is a literary magazine that focuses on African literature and the African literary diaspora. It publishes various works such as poetry, short stories, essays, and book reviews, often highlighting emerging voices and new trends in African writing. Kamati's work frequently delves into themes of identity and culture, resonating with readers and enriching African literature. This accolade acknowledges his contribution and the impact of his storytelling. He now joins us in studio to tell us more. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Nina.
How are you doing?
Great.
Thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations, of course. And talk to us about, what it means to you being named as Brittle's Writer of the Month, both personally and, of course, professionally.
Well, it was certainly unexpected, but a huge honor. I've been writing for, 15 years now. And for a moment, it felt like I needed to pick things up, because nothing was happening. So the recognition in many ways has validated my passion and the hard work that I've placed in writing over the years. On the professional front, I would say that I've been handed an exciting opportunity to reach a wider audience and maybe to possibly introduce them to the brand of magic that Namibian writers, African writers can offer, and the rich stories that we can offer.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you share the inspiration behind, your recent works, particularly this mythic fable about the special boy amongst his quadruplet siblings?
Yeah. Keep to the Shade, I always say, is a child of curiosity and empathy. The story sort of came to me 3 years ago. This was around through a phone conversation I was having with my mother. This was around June 13th, which is World Albinism Awareness Day. A pop-up appeared on my laptop. I was curious. I mean, it is not lost to any of us, the importance of sunscreen to those that are living with albinism.
Right.
So I was curious to know how those that had the condition or that have the condition went about their days 50, 60 years ago. So I asked my mom, and her reply was, I don't know, we never saw them. Exactly. We never saw them basically means that we never saw them in school, we never saw them at church, we never saw them anyway.
Right.
So the extremes that people had to go through, people living with this condition had to go through to ensure that they didn't get skin cancer was so extreme. And it was heartbreaking to realize just how much of life they had to miss out on. So, I mean, the sad part is to this day, that is still the case because the cost of sunscreen has not been regulated. So by the end of that conversation, I was convinced that there was a place in the world for a story like this, so I wrote it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about it without giving away all the details, of course.
Well, it is about Antu. Antu is a quadruplet. He's born with albinism, although his parents do not know it. They think it's a condition that will go away, but it doesn't until a shaman confirms that no, he's one of those that cannot be seen by the sun, or as I call it, those upon whom the sun cannot shine. So he grows up in the shade because that is what the shaman advises, until he encounters a little rabbit that is meant to be their supper for that evening, and he rescues it and sets it free. In showing that little rabbit empathy showed to him through the owner of the rabbit, an older lady that he encounters in the bush, and she comes up with a concoction that now that he can apply as sunscreen so that he can go out into the sun with his quadruplets, because that has been always with his siblings, because that has been his greatest desire, to go out into the sun, to do field work, the normal things that a child should do. That has always been his desire. So that's what Keep to the Shade is about.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How do your Namibian roots influence your writing styles and themes, Nande?
Among the multitude of sins that a writer can commit, I do not stick to themes. I do not stress about them. They are within the piece, but I just do not stress about them. But my style of writing has been heavily influenced by the drum of the beat. the beat of the drum, sorry. The rhythm, I write to the rhythm of the drum to which African stories have been told throughout centuries. And another significant influence has been the seamless flow of the Bible stories, the Old Testament Bible stories, and how they seamlessly flow within each other without the need of abstract plots but to deliver the message. Yeah.
So in other words, and in layman's terms, you like coloring outside of the lines.
Exactly.
What challenges have you faced as a children's author, and how have you overcome them?
One of the biggest challenges has been breaking into a market that is dominated by Western literature. Literature that is geared towards a certain demographic. But I've had to adapt. So I'd had to ensure that my stories are inclusive and resonate with children of all backgrounds. But I should say, and I should commend those that have pioneered platforms like Brittle Paper and what's the other one? Writer Space Africa. Locally, we have Duke magazine by Remy Gema. They've allowed us, or given us a space to showcase our work and to show that there is an appetite for the kind of stories that we write.
Fantastic. What message do you hope to convey to your young readers through your stories, Nande?
This will come as a cliche, but empathy, self-acceptance, understanding yourself and understanding your heritage. I want my young readers to be able to see themselves in the characters that I create and to feel empowered by their unique abilities. All this while fostering a love for reading. Yeah.
Fantastic. Sure. Well, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that was Namibian author Nande Kamati speaking to us about his latest piece that was featured in the Brittle Paper. He also received the accolade of Writer of the Month for the piece that is written. So if you'd like to read it, you can go onto the website and, of course, have a look there. On that sweet note, we wrap up today's edition of the Daily Roundup. We're back, of course, tomorrow, same time.